As we get ready for the next Cardinals season with training camp starting today, let's review the last touchdown pass thrown by Kyler Murray last season as called by Dave Pasch on the Cardinals radio network.
3 tight end set, shotgun snap, Murray to throw a fade, right side of the end zone, on the money to Marvin Harrison Jr., touchdown. What a throw by Murray. That's his 4th touchdown pass, tying a career high.
Now, the Cards won that game against the 49ers 47-24, but it was an outlier for a season that saw the Cardinals finish with only 8 wins.
So what does this season portend for the Arizona Cardinals? Joining us is Vince Marotta of the Bickley and Marotta Show on Arizona Sports 98.7. And Vince, we've already said it. Question number 1 is, how dedicated is the Cardinals player who wears the number 1 on his jersey? Because Kyler Murray hasn't always poured his all into this team, has he?
I don't think that's a fair assessment. Really? I think he's been dedicated. I just think he's been inconsistent. And I know the knock on him was earlier when he got the huge contract, and the Cardinals, for some reason, and Kyler Murray's representation agreed to the homework clause.
Right. They said he had to do a certain amount of studying.
That was baffling on all sides. So I don't think he'll ever really live that down until he achieves what the next step is, and that is becoming a playoff caliber quarterback. Kyler Murray's been to the playoffs one time. He had one of his worst career games in that playoff game. Last year, he was decent until he wasn't. Last stretch of season, the Cardinals at one point were in control of the NFC West. And, the last 5 or 6 games, Kyler didn't play his best football. Here we are. He will. I'm not going to sit here and say the Cardinals go as far as Kyler Murray will take them, but he needs to elevate his consistency to make them a playoff caliber team.
What else, Vince, do you think needs to be addressed?
I think they've addressed a lot of the things that needed to be addressed, LaDonna. I mean, they went out last year, and to put things in perspective with what's going on right now with the Diamondbacks, their depleted bullpen with all the injuries, that was the Cardinals' defensive line last year. Right. And they have bolstered that to be one of the strengths. It might be one of the best, deepest defensive lines in all of football. I don't think they have an all-star team on the defensive side of the ball, but they should be much improved defensively. And I think that was a big thing that they needed to address, and they did it in the offseason.
Getting back to Kyler Murray for just a second, I guess it's not fair what I said to start with, but that is definitely the feeling for a lot of the fans, that he's not really that dedicated to this team, or he has not been at times. But I did see on Insta that he took a bunch of his teammates to L.A. To do some pre-training camp training at USC, and they also, took what looked like some model shots.
Yeah. So what you are saying, Jim, is you did way more legwork than most of the fans do before they form an opinion on a player.
What?
They would just say, he's not dedicated. He's lazy. He's got a homework clause. Boom. End of story. He sucks as a quarterback.
Right.
He's actually matured a lot. When he got to the NFL, you have to remember things came very easily for Kyler Murray up to that point in his football career. He was always the most talented player, always the best athlete on the field. And I think it was a bit of a rude awakening when he got to the NFL. And it took him a couple of years to get his feet under him, to get acclimated, to grow as a leader. And I think that's happened over the last 3 or 4 years.
Well, that's one of the things that I think that sports fans underestimate, the need for leadership on a team, and kind of, one person who's on that team who really motivates everybody else. And it sounds like he's trying to kind of grow into that position, which is really good news.
It is. But now, again, like I said earlier, it comes down to performance.
Right.
You can do all the things leadership-wise and motivation-wise for your team, which I think your best player and your quarterback needs to do at the NFL level. But if you fold when the game is on the line, that will follow you as well. And not to be too hard on him, I think he folded a little bit down the stretch last year.
But does he have the talent it takes to do what we need him to do?
I think he's got the talent.
Oh, yeah. I think that's what makes him so frustrating, is everybody knows he's got the talent. It's just, you're using it.
I think there's been 2, maybe 3 times during Kyler Murray's career where at about the halfway point of the season, he's been an MVP candidate.
Wow.
And then the second half and the November swoon happens, and People used to pin it on Cliff Kingsbury, the former head coach, but it's also followed Kyler Murray in his pro career as well. That's something to watch this year.
All right, real quickly, because this goes to Arizona sports in general here. After he got snubbed back in June, finally, Arizona Cardinals legend Larry Fitzgerald gets named this week to the Sports Illustrated all-quarter century first team. How did they pass him over in the first place? And this just a sign of how disrespected Arizona teams are.
ESPN did the first one, and I was incredulous on how he got left out there. He's the second all-time leading receiver in football. And all of his statistics were amassed in the years that they were focusing on. I think Sports Illustrated's team got it right. They did a much better job of really encapsulating the greatness of players at all positions from 2000 to 2025. So, but we know Larry well enough to know that he doesn't really care about that kind of stuff. The fans care more than he does.
Yeah, I know. He really doesn't. That's what's amazing.
Very humble guy.
Yeah, he really is. All right. Thanks a lot, Vince. That's Vince Marotta of Arizona Sports 98.7, otherwise known as the Kyler Murray apologist. I'm just funning you.
Casting aspersions this early in the morning.
Right.
Thanks for watching Arizona's Morning News. Click to watch more from KTAR News and hit the button in the middle to subscribe.